We are popping our Maker's Mark cherry with their oldest bottle to date. This is the first annual release of the Maker's Mark Cellar Aged. We got our Magic Mind shots. We're ready to go.
Anthony looked wild as fuck right there.
Welcome back to Our Senate Culture. I'm Matt.
Jason.
Anthony.
And Anthony is back with us again after, what, three episode hiatus?
Yes, I believe so.
What's been going on, man?
Every time I'm here, I'm so happy to be here. So.
You are officially the best dressed guest we've ever had.
Woo, well, you guys told me
I don't know. I don't know. My hoodie's close up there.
Dude, so can you show off your shoes?
I don't know if I can actually flex that far.
Here, stand up. I want
take them off and like.
You could show them to us because they're
that
pretty
work?
cool. They're
Yeah,
pretty cool. You
Oh
can
my
do it.
god! I don't think I can do
This
this.
is the
guys.
first guest to look at that. Look how flexible.
Fuck, dude.
Did you guys see that?
I did.
Yeah.
All right.
You got like fucking tags on them.
I probably could have done a better job at that, but I didn't know I was going to put on the spot.
Spur of the moment's much better.
This guy, Jason,
You didn't stretch beforehand, yeah.
he tells me we're having a holiday party, so I dress up for it. And I get here, and you guys are dressed normally. It's like when Happy Gilmore ends up on the green with the sprinklers come on. That's how I feel right now.
Yeah, you fell for it. We actually were dressed up, and then we decided the 11th hour we were just going to ditch the whole holiday
man.
party plans. So we
Where's
went back to
holiday spirit?
Yeah. So you actually came back from a holiday party just now. So are you sober?
Yeah, no, it was so it was a university event actually on campus, and you know there's an open bar. When you're only there for about an hour and 15 minutes, you can't do more than have one drink. So I just had one drink.
That's about 4 drinks for our Senate.
I know. Yeah. Never underestimate us. Challenge accepted.
Probably get 6 in there if I need to.
And interestingly enough, do you know what my one drink was?
What was it?
It was a
Maker's Mark?
regular Maker's Mark.
Oh, there you go.
Just on the
Okay.
rocks. So,
Right on, man. Yeah.
so-
Are you a Maker's Mark drinker on a regular basis?
I wouldn't say that I grab like the regular stuff and drink
Yeah.
it. Like it's got to be some kind of a variant. So I
Right.
like Dusty Maker's Mark. I
Yeah.
like the black wax and gold wax. I like I do like 46, and I do enjoy occasional store picks like the ones
Yeah,
with the
I've had some good ones.
with all the different staves. 18
Yeah.
stave, 90,000
They
stave.
did the was it RC or MC? They done a few of those, like those different
Right.
special editions. I can't even remember what they all were, but
So the wood finishing series, that's actually a good thing to bring up. Do you remember? So that was Denny Potter's thing, I believe, and he's departing Maker's Mark now to start his own thing.
not sure about trust you.
Yeah, so they actually are retiring the wood finishing series, and I think it
No
ended.
shit.
It ended with BEP. It was a blue label. BEP.
Yeah, I think I've actually got that one.
Yeah, they were all
Yeah.
different like stave combinations
Yeah.
or different types of staves, and I think they did it what twice a year. I think.
At least I felt like that first year they had like 3 or 4 for some reason. But
Twice.
maybe it's like started in November and ended in
Yeah.
December the next year or something. But
Well,
Yeah.
I collected that vertical, so I have it stashed away.
No shit.
Yeah, so I think it's like
Okay.
8 bottles, maybe.
I might
think
have
somebody
one.
done
I
it for-
don't even know.
There you go. Woo. Maker's Mark.
This is gonna be nothing but Maker's Mark from our
There you
show.
go.
Do you know how
from
many
now on.
combinations they can do with their staves?
I can only imagine.
Is this a trick question?
No, I know the answer. I know
What-
the answer.
Oh, you know it.
Oh, okay.
I know it.
Oh, so you did this as part of your
I
research?
did,
Okay.
maybe.
This is one of those times
No,
where
just-
he
no, I just knew
falls
it.
onto knowledge and then he plays it off like I planned this all along.
There you go.
It
All
is
right, give us-
1,001 different combinations with those staves.
Like
of
exactly
finishing.
1001?
Yep.
Yeah.
That sounds pre-planned.
I'm calling bullshit.
No.
Yeah.
It's the private selection program. It started in 2015 with finishing staves. They have 1,001 different combinations at 108 to 114 proof.
Oh.
Do you like my professional voice?
I like that a
I
lot.
didn't like it at all. It was actually upsetting.
Damn it.
It made me cry. a little bit. Yeah, that sounds like what was the frozen yogurt chain, the old one back in like the 90s and early 2000s? Was it TCBY?
TCBY.
TCBY.
Where they were like, we have like 101
Yeah.
like different like flavor combinations or some shit like
Well, then
that. It was,
Baskin
like,
Robbins has got what?
31.
30. It's close.
Just-
It's close to.
Oh yeah,
1,000.
they both got ones in them, so it's the same.
Gentlemen, this explains why Woodford is doing what they're doing now. They're saying you can taste 200 and some distinct flavors in their bourbon.
Really?
Yeah, that's their new thing. They're marketing it all over the place.
Is it
I've not
201?
seen that yet. I
I feel like
it,
we're
though.
on a roll
Just
here.
do me a favor and find that and read it. You will laugh.
Okay.
I mean,
You've got to come up with an odd number though when you say that, right? You can't say there's exactly 200. It's got to be 203.
Yeah.
It's apparently it's
204 and a half.
one. It's 201 or 301.
Yeah,
like
you
you're
gotta
just
always
adding
be.
a one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baskin Robbins is 31. Right? I mean, that's the secret code. I mean, we figured it out. We could be millionaires. We could be bourbon millionaires.
Oh man.
Or hundredaires.
Get that flavor wheel out and pay attention.
So, Anthony, we bring guests on now. We're changing up a little bit. So,
Okay.
what have you been into? Got anything going on? Anything fun, exciting?
Well, what I've been into right now is trying to manage my life with the holidays coming up.
Good
I'm
luck,
sure
good
you
luck.
guys are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But fun and exciting. So, as you guys know, we have the Mashup podcast.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we got to do
I
recently
don't know why I said
was,
thank you, but it is a good podcast. I mean,
Thank you for your service. It's podcast Veterans Day.
I just kept going like it was normal.
I know. I was like, just,
I was like, wait, what did I just say?
I
What
thought
the
to
hell
myself, did he say thank you?
like giving side eyes over here.
No, but we got to do a barrel pick recently at Four Roses.
Nice.
And that was a fantastic time. So I had never
man.
been for that before. You said you've been?
I did. Matt was supposed to go, and then
He went in my place.
He was working or something, and
man.
Yeah.
I bit the bullet, and I fell on the sword. I was like,
gosh darn it.
Oh, yeah. But no, we so Bluegrass Liquor Box in Georgetown's under new ownership.
Yep.
And they sort of entrusted us with another group of folks as well that live up there local in Georgetown. There's about 6 of us. And this is our 3rd pick that we've done for them.
Great.
Nice.
We did Woodford, we did Bullet, and the Roses pick now. And man, there is nothing like that experience.
100% agree.
yeah.
100% agree.
You get to taste 10 recipes at cast strength. And then on top of it, you didn't think that was good enough. I'm sure I don't know if they did this before, but the gift bag they give
Did you get a gift bag?
gift bag now.
No, I feel-
and it's
I
got
feel
like this.
Cheated.
Well, you should because
Well, I stole a few glasses of pen, so maybe
Yeah, we
that's
came out
it.
on top.
well,
Yeah.
it's got this really nice tasting glass, and then it's got this like travel kit that's made by one of the big
shit,
Aged-E58
okay.
maybe I think it's Aged-E58 that does all the glass.
It's like a little flask or something, little sample bottles.
It's like a really hard carrying case that has 3 2 or 3 ounce sample bottles in it.
Okay.
And so you can take like 9 ounces of whiskey with you wherever you go. And Four Roses is, I guess,
That's
sponsoring
awesome
it.
because
Yeah,
I do that already. So
I
then
know.
you're going to give me like,
I hate having to pack and like
I
figure
just
out
put
how
in
to
Ziploc
pack.
bags.
I
and
know.
stick it,
Get
cut
the
the
Ziploc
bottom.
bags.
Just
Like,
yeah.
here's your sample, that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
I usually got to do like the bladder brawl that you wear over here, but it's
Yeah.
just like
Smart.
a fillable
That's
bladder.
smart.
You put
Yeah,
liquid
yeah.
in it.
That's
Yeah.
smart.
I just suck
So-
on my own teeth. And I was like,
man. So that experience.
I just do a leg bag.
I saw a leg bag, right? I saw a leg bag at Derby.
Oh, I've done it.
Really?
Oh, you've done
I
it
have
too?
done it.
Okay.
UK basketball game.
Yeah.
I have
Alright.
allegedly.
Okay.
I can't admit to anything on this show, but
I was on Reddit the other day. I'm just completely tangent. We're hijacking this
we
conversation
like
now.
this.
Oh no, go
Yeah,
ahead.
but somebody was like showing off like their skills of sneaking booze into the movie theater. Motherfucker took like a Ziploc bag and just filled it with whiskey. He's like, I'm ready to go. And every comment was like, nobody gives a shit what you bring into the movies now. You could like walk in with like a 5th and they're fine with that. So good on you, friend. But whatever works. I don't know.
What's the logistics with them?
I don't know. I was like, you gotta like bite the corner, then like suck it out of the
The
bottom. I
bags
guess.
to catch any liquid that like you lose out of the
Exactly.
like, actual
Yeah.
bottle.
Exactly.
Not for the
Yeah.
freaking, oh my god.
Yeah, he had a double bag. He had the second bag was like ice in the middle, so that way it wouldn't water down. It's like whiskey stones. It's like Jesus Christ.
Damn,
Would-
that's thinking ahead. Of it.
That's thinking too much.
When you brought up Reddit though, like it made me think about the fact that whenever there's like breaking news, I always type in whatever the breaking news is in Reddit.
Yeah.
Even not on Reddit, just to see what crazy shit people post.
Exactly right. Yeah.
They post the wildest stuff.
Yeah. So tell us about this gift box and bag.
just
and
did?
everything.
You got
Oh no, I did.
samples.
It's just that you got the glass,
That was all
you
of
got the kit and everything.
was hoping you
got a nice notebook to do your tasting notes in and
Nice,
everything.
Knob Creek gave us one of those. I
Okay,
did one there. That was
I think
pretty
everyone's
nice.
doing that now. That's a new thing that they're all doing with this like branded notebook.
Did
And
your notes say smooth and vanilla? Is that what your notes said?
just like Elmer
Or in
said.
different order? Was it
Yeah.
vanilla and smooth?
No, the funniest thing I have to tell a story. So one of the guys in our group, he actually left his book in my car somehow. I don't know how that happened. And so I had his whole gift bag, and I texted him. I said, "I got your gift bag here. We're gonna go at this now." I opened the book, and the book is literally 1 through 10 with check marks and X's. That's it. No tasting notes.
Those are his notes. He's like, I've had it. I haven't
take
had
it.
it.
I'll
Yeah,
take
of course, what did I do? I took a video of me opening it and then sent it to the entire group. And I said, "We thought we had tasting notes in here, but it was all a joke. It was a farce the whole time." So
Y'all been doing it wrong.
yeah, right. But no,
Well,
it
let's
was,
drink something. That's a
yeah.
good story. I like
Drink
it. Thank you for sharing.
What
Let's
have you
drink
been
a
up
little
to?
bit.
I haven't seen you in a couple weeks.
Dude, I just did a barrel pick too. Did a barrel pick with Bluegrass Barrel Pickers. They brought me with them. We went to Louisville. Went to Nulu. If you all seen those in the stores, Total
Yeah,
Wine seems to have a
right.
shit ton of them. Liquor Barn does too. But honestly, of most of the Nulu I've had, no offense to them, not my favorite.
You're right.
But this barrel pick I went on,
I concur.
wow.
Wow.
Like
Kinda
I was.
good, huh?
There's no NDA. So I'm going to say this.
It has
Maybe they'll-
nothing to do with
maybe-
the fact that you're the one that picked this.
Oh, of course not.
I'm completely unbiased.
But I'm going to tell this information. And if they come after me, I mean, I don't know. But it was Barton. It was Kentucky bourbon, and usually they have MGP as their source. So right on the barrels, they told us it was Barton. It's about 5.5 to 6 year old. We got to try from 4 barrels. They had more if we wanted to.
Okay.
We didn't need to. So
That was it.
of those 4 barrels, 3 of them were very good. One of them wasn't bad, but not what we wanted.
Yeah.
And the one we got should be here in January.
Nice.
So pretty
Barrel
excited
picks
for
all
that.
around.
Yeah, man. Have you been doing any barrel picks?
Yeah,
Matt?
so I saw a barrel and then I picked off the bourbon that was on top of it in the liquor store. That's as close I got. No, I've been rocking out. I just got back from Cincinnati today.
Oh, nice.
For 2 days, I was up there listening to heavy metal concerts. We saw, I saw a band called Fit for an Autopsy.
That sounds like a
Yeah,
nice
it's
band.
actually their Christian gospel band. Yeah.
really?
Children's.
Not at all.
Children's.
That was on Tuesday, and then we spent the Wednesday up there, and we saw a band called Whitechapel, and then Meshuggah and In Flames.
I've heard of
Meshuggah.
Meshuggah.
Yeah,
Meshuggah's big. They were actually the headliner, and it was great. And I fucking jacked my finger up in the pit.
That was
my
good.
God.
You're
You see
good.
that there? Yeah, it's
Ugh.
like I thought it was broken at first, but you can see how it's like crooked like that.
Yikes.
It hurts me to watch.
Yeah, but I fucking jammed it. It's not broken. Like I can still do this.
Looks
but,
pretty
like,
rough.
Yeah, some guy came into me and I just went.
So
backwards
is this
like
a coincidence? The last time I was on the podcast, you were talking about Louder Than Life, and
Yeah.
now you're mixing up into mosh pit. So now I'm kind of thinking that,
No,
like,
this is what I do.
okay. no.
This is a thing.
This is the thing.
Yeah, I got
Okay.
bruises under here, and I got to. This is all my cover up.
Dang,
apparel
man.
now.
Those aren't
Yeah.
track marks or they're bruises, right?
Yes, that's what I'm calling. Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, dude, I'm fucking. I stay young by going out and just living and beating
love
the shit
that.
out of other people. It was fun as hell. So I don't get in the pit as much as I used to because it's exhausting. It's physically, it's like you come
Oh,
out
I'm
dripping with
sure.
sweat, and it's like it's a cardio workout,
Yeah.
dude. As silly as that sounds.
Yeah, I mean, you're going hard for the entire song, at least, maybe more, but at least
Yeah.
one song.
Oh,
What's the
dang.
length of the
entire song, you go hard for a whole set. So like 8-9 songs, and you're just like jumping around, hitting people. But it's all in good fun, you know. And
Yeah,
what I
sure.
do a long time is I'll stay on the outside of the pit and I'll just push everybody else in. But
Yeah.
that way I'm
There you
like
go.
I'm kind of involved, but like I can breathe and like
Look how great that is. You should go in.
What a nice guy. Here.
Yeah.
You can meet this autopsy band or whatever if I push you in the pit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now you're ready for an autopsy.
There you
asshole.
go.
Yeah, exactly right. So I am thirsty.
I'm very thirsty.
I would like to try some of this. You
pass
got
that
some.
over
You
here.
got some notes on this. Tell us what we
I've
got
heard
here.
about it. So what comes to mind when you think Maker's Mark, Matt?
Fucking multiple colors of wax and collections sitting on people's shelves that never get open.
Yeah, good point. Anthony, what comes to mind with Maker's Mark with you?
A Kentucky classic in red wax.
So
Just a marketing machine.
I
over
would say,
here.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that is their commercial.
That
I've
is,
heard
yeah. No, that's really what that means to me.
So you're both right. I'll pass that to you, Mac, and let you get it poured. But, so on those notes, I do think in Kentucky especially, we
I gotta get my
have...
fucking gimp finger. Like,
You need help pouring that?
no, maybe. If I drop this, I'm sorry.
You gotta answer me. Yeah.
So, the multicolored waxes, I mean, traditionally Maker's Mark's red, but Matt's right. If you're in Kentucky especially, they do a series. They've been doing it forever, for a long time. So UK basketball, football, UK sports, and then also they do a Keeneland series. So Keeneland traditionally is green wax on there, but it can be changed. I mean, they'll do different colors for different horses or different races. Sure. And then the UK is traditionally always blue. There might be some white in there too.
Okay.
But Maker's Mark, speaking of the red wax, what Anthony said, that's just trademarked. Did you know that?
I did not know that. Just the color or...
So both. So
Okay.
it's more the dripping wax.
Okay.
But the red is kind of like in there as well. If you're a brewery or another distillery and you do the dripping wax, it don't really matter what color it is. You'll get a cease and desist more likely.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's
They're coming for you. They're coming
Wow.
for you.
I've actually been kind of worried because the Mashup Podcast logo kind of looks like
Yep.
a wax Maker's Mark thing. And I'm
So they're
like,
that hardcore.
They're going
about
to come
that.
after me.
Oh, they're
but
very hardcore.
even though we're gold.
crazy.
Yeah, they're hardcore.
There was
They
a brewery in Kentucky. I won't name the name. That had it was reddish wax, like wasn't even barely a drip at all, and they sent them a cease and desist. A
It
brewery.
was a brewery.
brewery
Not
beer,
even.
not bourbon.
That ain't cool. That ain't good.
Cool at all.
So this one I'm pretty excited about. I'm not a super big makers guy. I think what Anthony was saying earlier, he's drinking it tonight. If you go to events or something, kind of the house bourbon, a little bit nicer than the bottom shelf stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it, but this one I'm excited about. So first year they've done this one, it is a blend of 12-year and 11-year bourbons.
Okay.
87% of the blend is 12-year. So it's the oldest one they've done to date.
Okay.
It's proofed at 115.7 proof. From what I can see online, if this isn't the highest proof makers, it's like one of the highest proof makers ever done.
Yeah.
And then part of the time that they age these barrels, the first 5 or 6 years, they aged it traditional rick houses. And in the last 5 or 6 years, they put it in the whiskey cellar. So the cellar aged.
The cellar, right?
So control the temperature, and that's what you were saying too, Anthony. Right?
Yeah. It's a steady temperature, and I think it's like somewhere in the 50s or 60s or something like that.
I think a traditional cellar is like 55.
Okay,
like right
yeah.
around 55.
And the whole point is to slow down the aging, actually, right?
Right, yeah.
They don't want it to like get too tannic or
Smooth it out.
those kind of things. Yeah, smooth it out. And so I did hear from multiple people that are way more connected than we are. We like to, I want to be connected like these guys are.
Right.
I guess there is a 12-year-old version of this that was aged in rick houses. They're just not releasing it because they don't think it's to the Maker's Mark profile.
Okay.
Really?
And everything they do there, they want it to be to profile. That's why their regular stuff is a 5 to 6 year old product. All the barrels are rotated. They take really meticulous care because they want their product to be to profile. They're not like, that's why it's weird for them to care or like have something with age, and people have asked for it for so long.
Right. From a control perspective, you would think that the whole industry would gravitate towards just like cellar aging being a standard, because it is much easier to control your product. But historically, it's just the rick house has been the way to go, and
Right.
you're at the whim of Mother Nature.
Well,
You know what I mean?
They do temperature controlled on some of those too. I mean, maybe not makers, but some places do. So,
But look at all these old ass rig houses and these distillers
Oh.
where they're trying to be traditional,
Yeah.
and that's like the shtick too.
but like
but-
for example, I think if bourbon goes below, is it 34 or 32 degrees?
You might know more than I don't mean.
Okay, so I think it's 34 degrees. Don't quote me on that.
he's fucking making it up.
Quote it.
No.
Quotable.
He said
I
34.
stayed at the Holiday Inn. I stayed at Holiday Inn Express one time.
Note that for the record, he said 34.
So I think it's 34 degrees. So
Confirmed.
If the bourbon, the barrels are in 34 degrees or lower, maybe 32, don't know. Don't hold me to it, damn it. But if it drops below that, it doesn't change at all. So like there's
Okay.
no, when the wood when it's hot out, what's that going to do? It's going to bring it into the wood, correct?
Yep.
And then when it's cold out, it's going to extract. So it's going in and out of the wood, just like that, man.
That's what she said.
There you go.
I saw you mesmerized. I know you're watching.
All of a sudden, he glazed over.
The reason I know this because I just did a tour at Buffalo Trace.
You got to go in and out.
Thank you, Buffalo Trace,
Yeah.
for
There
telling
you
us
go.
information. But speaking of temperature control, so on that Buffalo Trace tour we did too, we didn't get to go there. I would love to see this place. Is Warehouse X.
Okay.
So Warehouse X on Buffalo Trace grounds it's not X-rated. I don't think. I've never been.
That's what got my
Could
attention.
be. Could
Yeah.
be.
Let's find out.
But they have all kinds of different experiments there. They even have one part of it they told us that was open air to simulate to see what happened that tornado survivor.
Ah, okay.
They don't believe much happened, but they're
Yeah.
going to try it and see, hey, what really happened here.
Right.
Or they do like single variants of whatever wheat, whatever strain they're doing.
Yeah.
So I would love to go in that damn warehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Before we
Anyway.
dive into this, I got a gift for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is our friends over at Magic Mind. Got us some of these little like energy shots.
Okay.
Yeah, think the size and the intake of like a 5-hour kind of thing. But
Wow.
it's all natural. They use nootropics. It's got nootropics, adaptogens. It's got like mushrooms in it. It's got
Really?
ashwagandha root, which actually really helps with your immune system.
What kind of mushrooms?
You're about to find out.
All right.
Don't take it yet because it's got
okay.
caffeine in it too.
All right,
and-
okay. I won't- probably not going to take in the
Af-
evening, right?
Yeah, after you just left your holiday party with your one drink.
yeah,
I don't
okay.
think you want to be doing a bunch of caffeine unless you like to party like that. I don't know.
Wonderful. This looks excellent.
So where are we? We're going to drink?
Let's drink.
So the nose, Makers is a weeded bourbon. Correct, Anthony?
Yes, it is.
Correct, Matt? Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that
he's
means
already
yes.
in there.
That means yes.
Oh man, that's a delicious nose. Could smell it all day. So I've
So-
learned to appreciate the oak a lot more
Oh, yeah.
in bourbon, and when you have higher age bourbon, that doesn't cross over to be tannic, and it's got that really nice, like a honey seasoned.
It's depth.
Its
just
depth is beautiful. It's like well seasoned and just
Yeah.
gorgeous.
I'd agree.
Beautiful
I'd agree.
nose.
So with makers, with me, normal makers is what, 90 proof. This one's 115.7. We'll call it 116. Do you think this drink's 115, 116?
I think no. I don't think it does. I think it tastes a little bit under that. I still do get a little bit of burn, but this is actually my first drink of the day. I've been drinking for 48 hours.
No,
so.
you're not counting the yeah.
Yeah, and of course the 6 beers we had. We don't count beers
Did
anymore.
the day
Yeah.
reset like 3 minutes ago?
It resets as soon as we start the show. Yeah, that's our
Right.
atomic clock. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, this is my first hard drink of the day. So there's the first one's always gets you a little tickle on there. But
Yeah.
I didn't get it, until after about 3 seconds.
Sure.
Of sipping on it. But it's like smooth. It's vanilla. It's oak. But it's just like it's rich and robust. I mean, this is really nice.
Yeah.
What are you getting, Anthony? Anything different on there?
So it's like
I think what you said, and I'll let you think about it for a second, but I think honey, when you talked about that, like it's a dark, like a rich little honey in there for me with the oak.
Yeah.
What else
Yeah.
are you getting there? And it was your words, not mine.
I always get a little bit of I get a little bit of berry, like dark berry notes.
Could see that.
And I get a nice. I like to describe it as like a brown sugar or burnt sugar,
Yeah.
which is really tasty. There's a lot of caramel in this. I mean, I know it's a generic bourbon note, but it's there and it's good depth. That's kind of the core of what I'm tasting.
I feel like it's a rich, deep bourbon. I don't feel like it doesn't feel like an exotic recipe.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, it feels very well done.
Right.
I mean, it's essentially their recipe. You just extend the days and in different circumstances for one of those aging periods. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I'd add another tasty note, but I get what you're saying. It's like caramelization.
Right.
It's like that burnt caramel on top of something, like almost. Very approachable. I definitely don't. It doesn't drink the proof. It drinks a little easier than that.
Right.
So this is the first time they've done this. This was a hard bottle to get, hard to track down. I had to trade for it. But they produced 225 barrels, which is somewhere between 40 and 55,000 bottles.
So where are they all?
Exactly.
Wow.
So where the hell they go? I mean, they're on secondary some, but they're not. I mean,
They're not out there.
Well, I do know that didn't they save some for their their club or whatever? If you were an ambassador,
know.
you could get some.
Well,
or-
I'm an ambassador, but I never had the
Oh,
opportunity.
you know what it is? They put some in the barrel and box program or whatever that's called that they do.
They do that? I didn't know they did.
Yeah, they do one of those too.
What is that exactly?
That's where they ship it from the distillery to your home.
Oh, okay.
Jim Beam does it
I
too.
knew Jim, but you're in
Yeah.
that one, aren't you? The Jim Beam
I
one?
wasn't Jim Beam, but I canceled, and I really shouldn't have. I should have kept it because it is a good value. But
Yeah.
I think they put this as part of that. So however many subscribers they have, a lot went there.
Yeah.
I know they're trying to expand their overseas markets, so a lot of it went overseas. So it's stretched pretty thin. I know that I looked up and down for one, and I struck out.
Oh, I couldn't find
get
one at all.
Yeah,
I mean, the guy that I traded this from went to the distillery.
right.
They were doing like 30 to 50 bottles a day for several weeks.
Right.
But that's how they were releasing. So,
Yeah.
and when they hit distro, barely saw any.
And people were sleeping in parking lots.
Yeah. He told me he got there at like 1 in the morning to get it. But anyway, MSRP on this one, $150. So standard makers. Do you know what standard makers is? Like the 750, the
I've seen it as low as $20.
yeah,
because
I was
they run
thinking
specials on it.
25, 30
Yeah, 25.
normal. So, roughly 5 times the price of makers for MSRP.
Right.
Go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I was just gonna let you finish. That's a
No,
lot for a fucking bottle.
It is a lot. So, what do you think about that price point? That's not talking secondary. That's talking MSRP.
Just retail. I'm really, I mean, like you said, I'm not a big makers drinker. I can't honestly even remember the last time I had makers. But this is good. I like this a lot. I don't think I would ever spend $150 for a bottle.
You ain't got to
bottle maker.
apologize to me. Be honest, damn it.
No, I mean, I like this a lot. I would never. I don't think I would spend that much for this for what you can get out there now. I don't think I would spend that much on a bottle.
It's
of
also not a 750 milliliters. It's only 70. So it's a little bit smaller too there.
What's
Really?
700?
Yeah,
Okay.
70 cell liters.
I got you.
Fucking metric system.
So what do you think about retail, Anthony? So 150. Would you buy that for 150?
So I think there's a little bit of a difference here, and I'm not calling you out, Matt, because I don't know
He
you.
just
I mean,
called
I
you
know
out.
well, but
We've
here's
never
the
met
thing.
before, so it's okay.
Yeah, we never. This is the first time. I mean, hey, did I ever
Nice
tell
to
you?
meet you,
Did I
sir.
ever tell you your beard looks nice?
Never.
I went and shaved my beard like a jerk, trying to regrow it. But I actually think that this is a value at $150.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm saying that is because if you look at other high-aged, high-proof weeded bourbons, you're gonna like find things in the BT range, Buffalo Trace stuff. They get a lot of with the Weller line, and all that stuff's gonna cost you way more. Even if it's, I mean, if it's retail, it's gonna cost you less. But I think this is really like the one thing I didn't emphasize enough is the finish on this is like a monster. It's got like a minty cinnamon long finish that's like spicy and everything else, which is not typical, I think, for a weeder like that to have that lingering finish. So I think this is really nicely done.
At 150, you think it's a value? For
I
retail?
do, because all prices are going up, man. Like everything is going up.
Yeah.
You see some of the stuff Wild Turkey's releasing now?
Oh man,
Wild Turkey's prices on
crazy.
like any limited releases are $300 to $500 now. So for a limited release, this is actually not bad. Okay. I would pay it all day. I'd probably pay a little bit more.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, but I'm a little bit different in the sense. I'm like
you are more of a connoisseur.
I'm
than
just
me, honestly.
bourbon.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
all
Well,
mostly bourbon.
you know,
so.
I'm a weeded fan, so I like Weller. I'm not necessarily a special reserve guy. I like OWA.
Right.
I like William LaRue Weller, of course. Weller 12 is very good. Not the biggest CYPB or foolproof guy, but love the weeded stuff. If you look at this and you compare it to the William LaRue Weller, which is their top bottle in that series, it's probably about 10 proof points different. I think William LaRue is about 125.
Usually in that range, yeah. Sometimes it goes a little higher, but yeah.
Ages probably comparable. I mean, this is 11, 12. That one's probably...
Yeah, the Rue's usually 12 to 13.
Yeah, so close.
Sometimes less, yeah.
And I'd say price-wise, you might get this cheaper than you would. I'd say it'd be $200 plus on MSRP, wouldn't it? The William LaRue.
This year's pricing on BTAC is $125 a bottle, but no one's going to sell it for that. No. The only place that might sell it for that is a big box that wants to take care of it. But even big box raises like $20, $30, $40. So yeah, you're not going to find it at MSRP. No, it's going to be over.
Would you pick this over that?
Would I prefer this over the William LaRue Weller? I don't know. I'd love to have them side by side in the blind.
Yeah,
I think that would be the test.
That would be a hell of a blind.
It would be a hell of a blind by hell, honestly.
Hell. Hell
by hell. This is still a whole lot easier to get.
We need to start a segment. Hell's bringing hell.
I need fire behind me.
I know. I'm gonna have like banjo music playing in the background. Like,
but I don't know. I would say off the top of my head, give me William LaRue Weller.
Right.
Yeah.
But it might just be because I think it's more rare. You know what I mean? It's harder.
It could be like an intrinsic value
for sure.
I don't think that's a bad assessment. I probably would do the same thing just because.
I don't know if I'd pick it in the blind.
That's a tough thing, and that's where you go when you go blind, and you never know. But I think they put out a really nice product. Like, in fact, I think it's gonna be hard for them to top this, and if they continue to top it, that is gonna be one of the most sought after releases.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do have to make fun of them though for a second. Can I do that?
Go for it.
So this bottle came in like the paper, like it was surrounded by paper. And for someone who sues everybody over the trademark, that's a little rich because
BTAC.
BTAC puts stuff in paper, right?
Yeah.
And as soon as I saw that, I was like, come on, are you trying to mimic them? And some people were like, it's because of the gold lettering on the bottle, that 2023 on there. And I'm like, okay, I don't think so.
Speaking of that, I got this bottle cheaper because the guy didn't have the paper.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
I was like, I don't need the paper. That's mine.
That's why there's a secondary for paper.
That's hilarious.
So speaking of secondary on this one, retail 150. Secondary probably around 450 at this time. We're talking national stuff.
Yeah.
So Matt's not necessarily by 150. I know he's not one at 450. Anthony, what do you think at 450? You said 150 is a value.
Well, I thought that it would settle around there. That was kind of my prediction, was it would settle around 450. I have a hard time with 450. In fact, in one of the recent local dealings, I tried to get one because someone said they were taking trade, but I offered between about 350 total for it, and they of course rejected it and got their 425, I think.
Sure.
But that's kind of where I'm at. I would be okay if I could get one at 350. So that's my limit. 450 is a little rich, and when they first came out, my God, they were fireballing at $600. No way, that was too much.
Yeah, I mean, I saw some more than that there for a little while in some of the groups, but You know what I traded for this, and I'm not afraid to say that I traded a Weller CYPB, which at the time was probably a little more valuable than this one if you look at value from a secondary perspective.
Right.
But I've had CYPB. I've had a couple different versions. Honestly, not my thing. So I really wanted to try this one.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the trade. But I also had $70 in that CYPB. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I had retail-ish in the CYPB, so it makes it a lot easier to swallow.
You need to do one of those. Somebody did like on eBay like years ago. Do you remember this? Like 15 years ago, they started with like a paperclip.
Oh, they do it all the time.
And then they trade up, and they keep trading up, and they keep
Yeah.
trading up. You need to try to do that with bourbon and just see like how high you can go.
Well, they've done it before. I've
Yeah.
seen it on those groups.
It happened a lot during that when the boom time was happening
Right.
between like
COVID.
right before COVID and through. Like
Yeah.
people were doing the trade up, and I can't remember. Some guy traded all the way up to like a Van Winkle 10, starting with like
Really?
something really small, and it had to do.
He might have started with the bottle makers, just make
Yeah.
Regular makers,
like
yeah.
something. Yeah,
You know
Yeah.
Caleb, right? Caleb did
sure.
that with I can't remember, for the birth of his son, and he ended up with something good, and he did it really thoughtfully. He was doing it well. I wish I could remember what he did, but he did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he ended up with like an E.H. Taylor barrel proof or something.
that's pretty solid.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
You could try to trade this one has like 3 pours taken out.
Oh,
of
you
it.
could still trade that one. You could, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna keep that one. So for $450, I think trade wise is something different. But $450 cash, if I had to pay that for this, man, it's close to me. I'm with Anthony. I'd like to be at $350. I feel like that's kind of like the ceiling for this one. But then you look at the BTAC stuff, the William Literary Weller. I mean,
yeah.
good luck getting one for what? How
Right.
much?
They're like
$1,000.
I think they're 14 to 1800.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think you could touch one for $1,000. Like no
Yeah.
matter who you knew.
Right.
Yeah.
So compared
Yeah.
to that, if you think this is close, hell,
It's
this
a
might be the way to
fucking
go.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of people think this might be one of their favorite bourbons of the year. I mean, I've seen it on a lot of lists.
I've heard that.
So you said how many barrels of this one did they put out?
So they put out 225 barrels, which is about 40 to 55,000 bottles.
And how does that compare to
BTAC this year? You know what the count is?
So BTAC, what they've done with that is they used to have the count up till 2018, I believe, or 2019, and then Buffalo Trace stopped releasing information.
Really?
They tell you everything about how many barrels there were, what rick houses they come from. I
Yeah.
think it's no, they might not even tell you barrel lot anymore because then people can predict.
Right.
They just tell you evaporation rate, warehouses, and stuff like that.
Well, but again, look at
But-
this number. Go ahead.
That's
go
right.
ahead.
But what I was going to say is this is going to surprise some people. The last 2 years they reported bottle counts. George T. Stagg was up around 38,000. And think about how hard it is to get a George T.
Right.
Stagg.
It's insane.
Right?
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it doesn't surprise me that this one is crazy as it did, even with if they have 40 or 50,000 bottles, because those were having 40. That now George C. Stagg was the most.
Right.
The other ones were all less than
than
that,
that.
especially when you get into Sazerac 18 and Eagle Rare
Yeah.
17 and all that because
yeah.
the evaporation's so high. But yeah, it's it's crazy.
Well, that's the range. I mean, you had 225 barrels, and their range of bottles is 40 to 55,000. That's a 15,000 bottle range
Yeah.
based on evaporation or whatever.
Yeah.
right.
So, all right. I mean, I think it's worth it retail for me. Secondary's pushing it, but definitely one seeking out if you can try it.
Yeah.
And what are you smiling over? What you got over there?
I'm
Anthony?
smiling
What you
because
doing?
it's the holidays and I'm feeling very jolly.
Happy, happy holidays.
Yes, so I brought something for you guys.
Did
because
you
told me
really?
we were going to be opening the Maker's
shit.
Cellar.
Okay,
And I
okay.
said, what better to bring than this bottle I got last Christmas, which
okay.
is a
Okay.
1984
Oh shit.
Maker's Mark Gold Wax.
Holy
at
crap.
101 proof.
Yeah.
So
I don't
brought this.
believe it because the seal's broken. So.
Oh, good call.
Look
good
at a
call.
tag strip on
Oh
there.
man, yeah.
So yeah, it's all tattered label and everything.
Dude,
So
that's
I
fucking
thought because
awesome.
we're drinking Makers, let's pour it up and drink
Dude,
some and see how
I would-
this
I would love to
tastes
try
on
that.
here,
I love
right?
drinking. Yeah.
While you're doing that, though, what'd you say the proof on this one was?
On which one? This?
The one you're pouring.
This is a 101.
So, and that's an 84?
1984, 101.
I didn't even know they made them at that proof back then, honestly.
They did. It just wasn't common, I guess. Right there, you see it on the side.
Nah, it looks Photoshopped to me.
Yeah. That's all fake, yeah.
I brought you guys a fake bottle. There you go.
I'm gonna let you
My
have that
bad.
one first,
Yeah.
man.
Sorry, I should have passed it that way. I
So,
didn't
do
realize
you
that over there.
remember there was a time, and let me see when this was.
Fucking screw cap.
This was around 2013.
Okay.
Do you remember when they had the outrage? They had want to lower their proof from 90 to 84.
Oh, what a debacle.
Oh, it went wild. Like, if
Yeah.
you look it up, it is the Maker's Mark debacle.
Really?
That's how you
Yes.
look it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So some of those bottles got out,
Really?
and this guy got one of those.
Wow.
I've not opened it,
You have one.
but I have one that says 84 proof
Really?
on it.
You know what I was just about to say? I think I saw one of the secondary group recently, and somebody got a decent amount of coin for it.
Yeah, I mean,
they were only
I'll
out for
never
like, what, 4 months? 5 months?
Oh, I bet less than that. They were pulling them. I think in
Yeah.
Lexington, I think we might have saw them for maybe a month, maybe.
Yeah.
And you probably didn't realize it because it looked exactly
the
the same.
same.
It
Yeah.
just had 84.
Yeah.
And people flipped their shit on that.
Yeah.
So
That was when they ran through the shortage, because you know how Maker's Mark had the 1 year they did a Keeneland bottle.
shortage. They
Well,
didn't have anything in it. I got that.
It was
bottle
empty,
too, yeah.
right? It
Yep.
just had. It was just an empty bottle. Like,
air.
sorry, we
It
don't,
was
have any,
air.
we don't have bourbon to put in.
It had a little note in it that said, "Hey, we're sorry."
I owe you.
And you know how much cheaper it was than the regular one? Not at all.
That's
the same
What I was going to
price.
say is people paid money for an empty bottle. That's how like much the Maker's Collector.
Oh, it was
market
the
is.
same
Crazy.
price as you would pay for the normal Keeneland bottle.
It's insane.
So now, Matt, what do you think about this one from 1984, 101 proof?
It tastes like juice.
Juice.
Yeah, it just like goes down.
So back then, Anthony, still doing the same age, you think? 6 to 8, kind of through there? 5
My
to
guess
6?
would be that, yeah. And this, now this has been open for a year. I got this bottle last Christmas. I opened it, so I shared it a lot.
You've
as
done
you can
well,
see.
Keelan.
It's
You
almost
have,
gone.
yeah. That
I
is
shared
impressive
this
of you.
with a lot of people.
Damn, that's
I
good.
mean, a
Thank
lot of
you,
people
man.
have
That's
had
amazing.
this pour. So I was just wanting to bring it because I never tried it against that. Not that we have to do that, 'cause we
Right.
just had it. But I just thought, like, when you were telling me we were going to do that, I thought, well, how can I show my appreciation? And there's my appreciation.
Thank you.
We
guys having
we
a
appreciate
fun-
your appreciation. Appreciating our
Yeah,
appreciation.
but what do you
awesome,
think? What do you think about it?
I think it's very good. I mean, you know, with the older bourbons, if you've not had those, it changes quite a bit. I mean, it's like for lack of a better term, I go back to my beer knowledge. It's oxidation. It's a little flat, but it also opens up the flavors more. So, doesn't mean the flavors are muted. It might not. It might mean the fusel, like the alcohol notes, are
kind of
less.
melded
You're not.
together
You're
with
not burning, right?
Right.
I think flavor wise, it's pretty damn close. I mean,
Yeah.
it's Maker's Mark, but it's really good Maker's Mark.
Yeah, it's,
you know.
to me, the Dusty Maker's Mark, the gold, and so this is important for people who are chasing Dusty Maker's Mark. The higher proof, the black wax and the 101 gold wax are leaps and bounds above the VIP bottles and other things that are like 90 or sub 90. They just taste better. I don't know what it is. And even with this one, I actually think that black wax might have a slight edge on this one, but I love like the butterscotch notes in this.
Right.
It's very smooth, like you said. And when I got this, it's actually a funny story. So
We like funny stories.
I want to hear it.
actually, my wife is going to kill me if she happens to watch this.
We'll make sure to send her this clip. Go ahead.
So when I saw this, it was on a Natty page. But as I often do, I looked
Not
at the
Cincinnati.
person.
That's
Not Cincinnati.
national.
National
Yeah,
page.
not the nasty natty.
I looked at the person's profile and it said they were in Frankfurt. So I sent a message to say, hey, I'm local. I think he had it posted for $4.75.
I was going to ask you how much. Okay.
I think it was $4.75, $4.50. And I said, hey, can I give you? I think I said $3.75, maybe local for that bottle because I was really into Dusty Makers.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know something? He's like, it's a holiday. I don't want to have to deal with shipping it. I'm not getting a lot of action. I'll give it to you. I said, okay. Then he's like, I'm actually going to be in Lexington today. And I'm like, this is perfect. It's working out perfect. Then my son gets sick. Right? So I had texted him and I'm like, listen, man, I got to run my son to urgent care. It was like Christmas Eve, I think, or maybe 2 days before Christmas.
Yeah.
And so he goes, that's okay. I know where that urgent care is at. I'll meet you over there.
What?
Yeah. So here's Father of the Year, right?
No way.
So I'm like,
Well, he
there's
came
no
to
way
you.
this
It's
is gonna
okay.
work.
I know, yeah.
So my son and I were the only ones in the urgent care, and he goes and pulls up outside and texts me, and I'm like, listen. So I told the nurse because she's sitting in there with my son. I go, I just have to run outside for a second to get something from the car.
Yeah.
I literally ran out the
your
front
wife's
door of
gonna
the
kill you.
urgent care.
Oh, my God.
I ran out the front of the urgent care, said, thank you, threw it in my car, ran right back in. I was gone to some total of maybe a minute and a half, and I told him, like, I have to run back in there because my son's in there. And everyone's looking at me like, because I'm the only one in there. The security guard's there. He's looking at me like, why is this guy running in and out of here like a crazy person? But I was so petrified. I'm like, if the minute and a half that I'm gone out of this room, something happens to
Something
my son,
happens, yeah.
my wife's going to kill me.
Yeah.
Right?
Where were you that minute
where
and a
were
half?
you that
Yeah.
minute and a
What
half?
were you doing in the
No,
parking lot
but
with that
she-
strange man?
She's a sweetheart, and I mean, my God, I can't believe that I did that. But that's how I got this bottle. So
I think it was worth it. Yeah.
It was
we
worth it,
appreciate
so we
it,
could
yeah.
drink it
Well,
today.
thank you for sharing it with us,
Cheers.
man. This
My
is
goodness.
probably the oldest makers I've tried.
Really?
So
Yeah.
I think so. I don't think he had anything older than that. So.
Well, I have some black wax, so maybe in the future.
We might do it.
This Makers episode.
Cheers.
Yeah. Join us next time, and Anthony's going to bring 3 more pairs of rare shoes, and he's going to show them all off on our beautiful runway here.
Oh, my terrible stretching.